Today's video is about one two-letter word, no. Do you have problems saying this word? Do you feel guilty for saying no to people? This video is for you if you have issues saying the word no, especially if you have problems saying the word no to family and friends. Learning to say the word no can be a game changer for your productivity and personal growth. And I'm going to show you how. In a world where we're constantly bombarded with requests, invitations, and opportunities, it's easy to fall into the trap of always saying yes to everything. We want to be helpful, we want to be supportive, and we want to be involved in the lives of our friends and family. But at what cost? Saying yes to everything might seem like a good idea at first. We want to be helpful, we want to be team players, and we want to make people happy. But the truth is, when we say yes to everything, we're not being realistic about our time and our energy. We're not being honest with ourselves or others about what we can truly handle. And that's where the trouble starts. We start to overcommit, taking on too much and spreading ourselves way too thin. We sacrifice our own goals and priorities to please others. And before we know it, we're exhausted, we're stressed, and unfulfilled. We've all been there, stuck in this cycle of overcommitment. We promise to do things we can't possibly do just to avoid saying this one word, no. We take on projects that don't align with our goals just to make someone else happy. And we end up, at the end of the day, feeling like we're stuck in this never-ending cycle of stress and anxiety. But what if I told you that there's a very simple way out? What if I told you that saying no can actually be the most liberating thing you can do for yourself, and that you shouldn't feel guilty for saying it? Stick around to the end to learn how to add no to your vocabulary without feeling guilty. When you say yes to everything, you're essentially saying no to certain priorities that really matter to you. Your time and energy are limited resources, and by spreading yourself too thin, you end up with less time for what truly matters, whether that's your personal growth, your health, or key projects that align with your goals. I used to feel guilty saying no, regardless of the reason. So whether it was employees at work, or requests from family or friends, I felt like my saying no wasn't really an option. But as I've gotten older, I view things very differently. I realized that part of me was always a people pleaser and worried about what others might think. I don't know, have you guys ever felt like you're in that situation? But now I realize that what other people think of me, honestly, is none of my business. And I'm not rude about it, but I'm genuine, I'm honest, and I speak my mind, and I say what works for me and what doesn't. Because beyond just spreading ourselves too thin, saying yes too often can often lead to a loss of identity and purpose. When you constantly agree to others' requests, you start to prioritize their needs over your own, which can dilute your own personal goals and values. Now, over time, this can even cause you to lose sight of what truly matters to you, and it can also lead to feelings of resentment, frustration, and even burnout. So just remember that every time you say yes, and you're not really feeling it, that time and energy could be spent on activities that really do align with your true passions and aspirations. So this constant cycle of overcommitting can leave you feeling unfulfilled and disconnected from your true life's purpose. And also, when we overcommit like this, we're not just sacrificing our own time and energy, we're also sacrificing our relationships. We're not being authentic. We start to resent the people that we're trying to help because we feel like we owe them something, like we always have to say yes. And we start to resent ourselves as well because we're not living up to our own expectations and we're not being true to ourselves. So this constant yes mentality can lead to just feeling stressed and burnt out, and just that you're not being authentic enough with yourself or others. And that's where the power of no comes in. If you have people in your life who really love and care about you, then they'll totally understand when you occasionally do need to say no and have some time for yourself. So saying no isn't about being negative or selfish. It's about setting boundaries and protecting your energy. When you say no to distractions and unnecessary commitments, you're saying yes to what's truly important to you. So by using no strategically, you free up your time to invest it in activities that you're really interested in, that you really care about. You can focus on your own goals, develop your own skills, and maintain a healthy work-life balance. Saying no can also have a profound impact on our mental and emotional well-being. When we prioritize our own needs and desires, we start feeling more confident, more empowered, and more in control. We feel like we're being an authentic version of ourselves. We start to feel like we're living more authentically, more intentionally, and purposefully. And here's another very powerful insight. Saying no can actually lead to unexpected opportunities and greater focus on what truly matters. When we say no to things that don't align with our goals, we're making room for things that do. We're making room for new opportunities, new experiences, and new connections. We're making room for growth, for learning, and for self-improvement. One thing I found in my life is it's almost as though the universe is testing us at times. And we say, well, we want a certain thing. And I think the universe at times looks to see how committed we are to that. Are we willing to make space in our life for that thing that we say and claim to desire? So what's the takeaway? Saying no is not about being selfish or lazy. It's about being intentional. It's about being focused and true to ourselves. It's about prioritizing our own goals, our own needs, and our own desires. And when we do, we'll be amazed at how much more productive, more focused, and more fulfilled we can be. So now that we understand the power of no, the next question is, how do we say no effectively? And also, how do we say no in a kind way? Because a lot of times we'll be saying it to people we really care about, family and friends included. So first of all, there's no reason to feel guilty or like we're offending others just by using this word. But here are a few tips to do so. So one tip is to be polite but firm. You can decline politely while still standing your ground. For example, something like, hey, I appreciate the offer, thank you so much, but I need to focus on this other project. Or, thank you so much, I would love to be there, but I have a prior commitment. There's no reason to feel guilty for saying something like that. And also, you want to be honest. Don't make up some excuse, oh, I have something else. Just be honest with whatever is happening in your life at that time. So another option is to just offer an alternative. Sometimes we have to say no because the timing just doesn't work, or we have prior commitments. So in those cases as well, just be honest and say, hey, I'd love to join, I'd love to commit to doing this, but the timing just doesn't work for me. I have something else scheduled. Could we do it next week or the week after? So this can also be a discussion, especially if we're talking about family and friends. You can work out alternatives to the original invitation. And finally, at the end of the day, remember your own priorities. Keep your own goals in mind. If the request doesn't align with your goals and priorities, it's okay to say no. You shouldn't feel guilty when things just don't align with what you want in life. So remember, saying no is a very powerful tool in your personal development arsenal. It's not about being negative or about closing doors. It's about opening the right ones. It's about being intentional. So the next time you're faced with a decision, ask yourself, does this align with my priorities? Am I really excited to do this? If not, give yourself the permission to say no and see the impact that it has in your life in a very positive way. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more tips on living a more empowered, productive life. And as always, I love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. How has saying no helped you in your life? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.